Former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger makes a statement about returning to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the current status of the team. So, Ben Roethlisberger, on his podcast Footballin' with Ben, he finally responded to all the questions and all the fans kind of talking about him returning and how he should return to the Steelers, not only just as the offense coordinator, but actually play quarterback now that Kenny Pickett is out for a while and needed ankle surgery. So Big Ben, on Monday actually, during his episode where he kind of recapped the week, this is what he had to say about returning to the Steelers. No, the Steelers have not called me. The wing feels great. The legs, no good. I can sit in the pocket, just don't let me get out of the pocket. So that's his quote. And at this point in time, right now, Roethlisberger is 41 years old. And right now, if he were to make a return, he would face a lot of physical challenges that would make it kind of improbable for him to come back. He's been out for a while now. He's been out for like 2 years. So he wouldn't come back. And he's kind of just joking along, kind of going along with the narrative, and many of the fans wanting him back. So he's kind of talking about it and how he's kind of joking, saying how his arm feels good, his legs don't. Obviously, the Steelers have not called him, like he said. They have not called his phone. Mike Tomlin hasn't. They haven't asked him to come back. And I'm sure he wouldn't either. But he's obviously just joking and bringing it up and giving his response to all the fans wanting him back. But to be honest, if you were to ask me, or you were to ask other people, who would give the Steelers the best shot to win right now? Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, or Ben Roethlisberger? Who would give them the best chance to win football games? I would still say Big Ben would give them the best chance to win. Even though Mitchell Trubisky obviously is in the league, Kenny Pickett is in the league, Mason Rudolph and Ben Roethlisberger has been retired for a while, I still think Big Ben would give the Steelers the best chance to win just because he knows what he's doing on the football field. He has that veteran mindset. Even in his final years with the Steelers, his physical attributes weren't at a high level. He wasn't pushing the ball down the field, but he just knew where to go with the football. He just knew where to throw it. He knew what to do. He knew how to keep the Steelers involved in the game and lead them to that fourth quarter comeback or lead them down the stretch and end up winning games. Even though the team struggled throughout most of the game, he just knew how to keep them around in the game, stick around long enough to end up pulling it through. He was not forcing too many turnovers in his final year. He even had only like 10 turnovers, 10 interceptions. So it's not like he was turning the ball over at a high level like he once was in his career. He was kind of taking a slower approach to it. And even then, he was still spreading the ball around, getting people involved. Look at Deontay Johnson. You wouldn't expect Deontay Johnson to put up huge numbers with Big Ben in his final season, but that was probably Deontay Johnson's best year of his career at a wide receiver in terms of putting up numbers, because Big Ben would give the wide receivers, the running backs, a chance to make plays with the football. He would know to get them to him early and make the wide receivers do a lot of the work and make them run after catch and put them to use and help them and make them get their yak yardage up. So Big Ben knows where to go with the football, and even though he wouldn't come to retirement, I still believe he would give the Steelers the best chance to win. But he obviously says that his arm feels good, his legs don't, and he's kind of joking, and he kind of says that he wouldn't come back. But with that being said, he also mentioned something else about the Steelers and how their tradition on offense is slowly passing away. So, as we all know, the former Steelers that used to be there, like David DeCastro, Marquise Pouncey, Big Ben, Villanueva, all those guys who used to be with the Steelers have been with the Steelers a long time. Basically, every single one of them is gone, and Big Ben was the last one to leave. So on his podcast, once again, he was talking about how that tradition with the Steelers and that kind of Steeler way is kind of fading away, and they really only have it on the defense side of the ball, and the offensive side of the ball is just not there anymore. This is his quote on that topic. It feels like the Steelers way. Listen, you got some great leaders on defense. Don't get me wrong, TJ and Minka, but you've got two sides of a football. You don't have it on offense. You can bring in veteran football players like a Mason Cole, Isaac Seumalo. You can bring guys in that are veterans, but just because they are veteran football players in this league doesn't mean they are a Steeler. like they know what it is to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. When I left, it was kind of the last guard there. Marquise Pouncey left the year before, and Dave DeCastro left the year before that. Those guys left, and I was kind of last one. There just wasn't the Steeler tradition passed down anymore. You have it on defense, don't get me wrong, but you don't have it on the offense side of the ball right now. It's just making it really hard. You're not seeing it, in my opinion, the toughness on offense. And I say toughness in the sense of Steelers toughness. Who's grabbing someone by the face mask and saying that's not what we do? Is that happening? When you are in offensive meetings or huddles, you need someone to stand up in that room on offense and be like, this isn't what it means to wear the black and gold. This isn't what it's been handed down for those teams of the 70s. I understand the further you get away from that, the harder it is, unless it's being passed down and carried on the right way. End quote. So that's Big Ben talking about how the toughness and the tradition with the Steelers offense is kind of gone and it's done and being passed down, and there's no one in the room right now who's used to be with the Steelers or is used to that Steeler way of football. So, looking at the changes the Steelers have undergone, they've undergone a significant amount of change, especially to the offensive side of the ball. And just looking who Andy Weidl and Omar Khan who brought in, you look at the players that they brought in, especially on the offensive line side of the ball, they don't really have those guys who have that nasty mean streak. The only person you could consistently see always in the face of defenders, whether that's be blocking or even after the play defending their teammates. The one person who I continuously see after the play kind of be in the face of the defenders and kind of have that mean streak is Broderick Jones. And even though he's a rookie, you see him stand up for his teammates. You see him go after the defensive player, but he does it in a smart way. I haven't seen him get a flag for it, but I've seen many times after the play where something happens and Broderick Jones is the first one there. You saw it in that little clip of Myles Garrett. Even though Myles Garrett wasn't really doing anything and he was kind of laughing around because the quarterback's face mask came off, and we all know the thing about him hitting Mason Rudolph in the head with the helmet, and so Mitchell Trubisky or Kenny Pickett's face mask came off, Myles Garrett had it in his hand, and the first person there was Broderick Jones. And we see it many other times, not just that incident, but you've seen it other times where just say a bad play happens and kind of two players are going after each other. The first person there is Broderick Jones. We've seen it on the huddle when we seen that Chuks Okorafor didn't know the play and he was late substituting on the field. The first person with his hands in the air insisting that a new player comes on the field because he knows that they're a player short was Broderick Jones. He was the person who was kind of waving him on, like, hurry up, let's get in here. Because it seems like he understands what's going on and he has an understanding of the football game. So I do see it a little bit with Broderick Jones, but once again, he's still a rookie and maybe he's just bringing that over and his competitive toughness as a rookie from the Georgia Bulldogs. It doesn't mean he has a Steeler way or anything like that, but I do see kind of a mean streak in him. But someone else on the Steelers, I really just don't see anyone else like that. Everyone else is kind of playing their own way of football, and it's not up to me to determine, obviously, a fan to determine, or whoever to determine who has a mean streak or what, but obviously Big Ben does not see that in any of the Pittsburgh Steelers on offense as of right now either, so he believes that needs to get back to the Steeler way. Obviously, Mike Tomlin's still there. He's still the head coach of the team. Minkah Fitzpatrick, he's on the team. Big Ben says he has it. TJ Watt has it. I would say Cameron Heyward, he's been on the team a lot longer than anyone else. So the offense needs more people with more mean streaks and people who play the Steelers way per Ben Roethlisberger. But the defense is the reason why the Steelers obviously are winning football games or even come close to winning it. And Big Ben believes that they have it. But bringing in guys like Mason Cole or Isaac Seumalo, Big Ben thinks that they just don't have it, and bringing guys in who are veterans just doesn't equate to the Steeler way and what it actually means to wear the black and gold. Just because you're a veteran in this league doesn't mean you have the Steeler way. So with that being said, Let me know down in the comments below, how do you feel about both these topics I talked about in this video? Big Ben Roethlisberger saying that he feels good, his arm feels good, his legs don't, and kind of joking away saying that he probably wouldn't come back to the Pittsburgh Steelers and play quarterback. Do you want him back? Do you think he would be the best fit and kind of be the best person to help the Steelers win football games out of everyone they have on the roster right now? Or do you believe it's just time to hang up the phone on that side and leave him alone and just go with the guys we have? And also, how do you feel about him saying that the offense just doesn't have the Steelers' way like it once did? Let me know your thoughts on both those topics. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like Steelers content and analysis reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for the channel as well, so you get notified whenever I post next year's video, which is every single day. I post a new video every day, whether that be film breakdowns, reactions, breaking news, or just regular news like this. So turn notifications to the channel so you never miss out about your Steelers football. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.